All right, let's do this shit because I'm anxious. I'm giving anxiety. And if I don't just start talking, I'm going to freak myself the fuck out. But hi, you can see me. Hi, friends. This is our first video podcast. And of course, it's going to be about fucking. This is going to be hookup culture. Everything you need to know about it. I got some shit to break down. And I have some things to tell you about, one, how to protect your relationship with yourself. And two, how to mentally prepare yourself if you're going to be fucking around. Because it's all fun and games till you get your feelings hurt. Trust me. I know. I went through it recently. And I'm fucking upset. Okay, let's just jump into this. So I hate to say it, but it does not matter how prepared you are. Casual sex and hooking up will fuck with you at some point. So first, let's talk about the physical needs of a human being. We're all biologically made to fuck. Maybe I should say procreate instead of fuck. Like, that's abrasive, you know? We're all like made and wired to have sex, engage in intercourse. But one thing I have to make very clear is there are people who are run by their sexual desires and people who are not. But I am just going to tell you this straight up. Just because you feel the urge to have sex does not mean you have to have sex. You're not going to die if you don't have sex. Promise. I know that's like a hard pill to swallow, bitch, but like, you're in control and it's your choice to act on your urges or not. But you can't deny the fact that we do have the biological urge to have sex and hook up with people. And we want to like touch people and be close and feel affectionate. Like, we all have that. That's normal for all of us. But I have to make it very clear. You're not going to fucking die if you don't have sex. So just remember that. You have the urge, but it's your choice to act on it. It's not like drinking water. Like, if you don't drink water, you're fucked, bitch. You're going to die. You're going to DY. So let's jump into hooking up and why it feels good. And then we're going to get into why it feels bad. So hooking up and having sex, it feels so fucking good physically because you got all the endorphins running through you. Like, duh, that's expected. Like, you're touching another human being, skin to skin contact releases that shit. And then you be having sex too, and you touch the little bits and parts of you that makes it feel good. Yeah, you're gonna have an endorphin release. It's gonna feel really good. But a lot of people fail to realize a reason that sex feels so good is because of the emotional stimulation you get too. You feel validated, you feel wanted, you feel attractive, like you feel desired. Someone wants you, someone wants to bring you close to them. And you feel valued, you feel like worthy, like it's a good validation of like feeling good about yourself. And then you add on top the physical feelings you get, like, bitch, it's great. But it explains why so many people are slutty. And like, the typical thing with people who are like slutty as fuck, a lot of people get a bad rap and like people like to talk shit on people for getting around, but they fail to take into consideration what's going on emotionally. Because people that are slutty don't just fuck just to fuck. The physical sensations of it are not enough to run you and not enough to sway you and make you bend your boundaries and fuck people that you wouldn't want to fuck. It's the emotional side that will do that. It's the emotional side that will get you out of fucking character and fuck you up. So I don't want y'all looking at whores and like slutty people like they're just so run, but they just want to go fuck. It's more than that. Everything in my podcast, y'all understand, everything is more than it seems. So that's one that I want to clear up. You also have to take into consideration with people that are very sexual. Sex and being objectified and sexualized might have been someone's only reflection of value for a long time. So they might only feel useful and feel valuable and feel good about themselves when they're being pursued or having sex with someone. So you have to remove your judgment so fucking hard, because a lot of people that are sexualized from a young age, that's what they're reflected. And a lot of the gay community, everybody, it's just like, what can you provide for me sexually? Everybody's looked at as a sexual object. And all people, all human beings, like, we want to feel valued. We want to feel good. And if that's how it was reflected to somebody, that's how they were taught to see it. They see their value and their ability to have sex and to be sexual. So like I said, it's a lot more emotional than people realize. And also, people that have experienced this and had their value only or mainly reflected through sex and sexual acts, that is their reassurance. So anytime they doubt their self, anytime they feel low self-esteem, they feel ugly, they feel like not valuable, they feel like undesirable, their way of having it validated is through sex. So when they need reassurance, when they need comfort, when they need to feel validated, they resort back to how they know that they get it. And it's all going to be subconscious. So anytime someone gets insecure or down or whatever it is, if this is what they kind of grew up with, they're going to resort to sex because that's going to alleviate the insecurity they feel. So getting to have sex with someone or feeling pursued or feeling wanted by someone is their validation that they have worth and they are valuable. So don't judge fucking whores, all right? Don't judge no slut. It's actually really sad when you think about it. But we are going to get way more in depth with that, okay? I'm not encouraging you to go out and be a whore. I'm just letting the whores know I understand you, babe. I've been there. Everyone has a little hoe face. Everybody gets trapped in this cycle until you break it. But I want you to know that it's understandable why you do what you do. You might not understand why you feel like you can't control your sexual urges, but there's a lot more at play than you realize. And we're going to get into more details. Okay, so we talked about how all human beings have like the physical needs we need met. Great. But we also have the emotional side of it. Every single human being is wired for connection. We are all wired to need each other and to want each other. Like you can't avoid that. Like you want to feel valued. You need other people to reflect it to you. I don't want to say you need it, but motherfucker, like I tried to reflect myself, my value for my whole life, and it like wasn't as nice as when other people fucking do it. It's like when my therapist used to tell me, Leo, you don't need compliments from other people. And I'm like, I know, bitch, but I want them. They're nice. They feel good. Like, you can't not want it. Like, it's just nice to have your value reflected by others and to feel cared about by others. But a lot of this fill your own cup bullshit fails to take into consideration we all have physical needs as human beings and we need each other. Like, you can't avoid that. But with all this being said, we all as human beings have the desire to feel close to other people. That's our main fucking thing. Every single one of us feels it. You can't avoid it. So everybody wants closeness, but a lot of people are unsure of how to get it and how to feel it. And when you want closeness with someone, you want to feel connected, you want to feel valued, and you don't get that or you don't have that, that is painful. It's literally painful as fuck to not feel valued, to not feel wanted, and to feel isolated. Like you want to be around people, you want to be connected to people. Being connected to people is a reflection of value because people want you in their life when they value you, when they care about you. So if you have no one in your life, there's no constant reflection of that to you. So everybody wants closeness. But if you look at society, everybody is running around scared shitless of other people. Like everybody's so scared to get hurt. Everybody's got this need for closeness, but everybody keeps people at arm's length. Like, I don't want you to get to know me. I don't want to let you in on my internal world, which is required for true connection to feel connected to people. Like you have to open yourself up and truly connect. But everybody's so scared to get deep. Everybody's so scared to reveal who they truly are, what they truly feel, what they truly want. So everybody's running around with this desire of like, I want to feel close to people, but they're pushing everybody away because they're scared to be hurt. So if you look at sex or casual hookups or just hooking up with people, you get that fix. Like you get to feel connected to someone without the risk of emotionally being hurt. Like you physically get to feel close to someone for a minute. You feel like someone's there. You get to feel valued. You get to feel cared about. All the good things about you are reflected. The fact that you're useful, you're valuable, you're desired, you're wanted, you're attractive. Like all of that is reflected to you. So you get your fix of feeling good about yourself, and then you get your fix of feeling connected to somebody. You get to hang out, you get to hook up, you get to feel close, you get to touch another human being, you get the endorphins from skin to skin contact and like fucking, and then you get to leave. And there's no risk of you being hurt because you didn't open up emotionally, but you shortcutted that need you have of feeling close to someone. It really makes so much sense when you understand that, like why our society is the way it is and why hookup culture is so prevalent. Everybody's a chicken shit. And everybody like wants to avoid being hurt. But we all have that need for genuine like closeness and connection to people. We want to feel close to them, but nobody's willing to open up to do what it actually takes to feel that. So everybody's just settling for the superficial. A lot of people don't understand how to feel close to people, so they don't even know that you have to open up to the level that you do. And also with opening up, that's scary as fuck to open up to somebody and let them in on your internal world. It's like literally opening your chest up and allowing someone to like see in. That's fucking terrifying. Like if someone can see the way you truly feel, what you truly want, what you desire, what you don't like, and like the pain you're in, that's scary as fuck because you're opening yourself up basically for someone to do whatever they want to you. They can choose to care about you and love you, or they can fuck your shit up and manipulate you. It's 50-50. So I understand why everybody's so scared. I'm scared too. I feel the same things as you guys. And that's one thing you have to realize. I know as much as I do, but I still have to navigate physical life feeling everything that you feel. I'm not different from you. I'm the same as every single one of you. And that's why I get it to the extent that I do. Like a lot of spiritual people and a lot of like leaders and teachers and people that like talk about shit that I do, they act like they're completely void of the human experience. But I want to let you know, everyone experiences it. Everybody feels it. Some people ignore it and some people don't. I'm very in touch with it and it hurts my feelings all the time. And while I'm on the topic of spiritual shit and like people online, Let me just go ahead and acknowledge everybody's posting about you need to be careful with sex. It's an energetic exchange. You'll take people's trauma on if you have sex with them. Shut the fuck up. An energetic exchange with someone is the least of you motherfuckers' worries. All right? You need to be worried about catching a fucking STD. You need to be worried about getting pregnant by somebody you want to get fucking pregnant by. You don't need to be worrying about an energetic exchange. Cool it, bitch. Get a crystal and go shove it. All right? Leave everybody alone trying to scare everybody with the energetic exchange shit. It is an energetic exchange when you do have sex with someone or you hook up with someone. But it's not this fucking drastic thing where you're just going to like transfer their trauma onto you. Like, you're okay. Okay, so now that we've acknowledged that sex is a shortcut to get to the feeling state that you want and to like alleviate that pain that you're in, this is where I mean hookups won't feel good for long. So when you're having the urge to hook up with somebody, it will overwhelm you because it's not just like the physical need. You're just going to feel intensely horny and be like, oh my God, I want to go fuck. But like I said, it's more than that. It's the emotional shit too. So all you're going to be doing is you're going to be wrapped up in this feeling state of like, oh my God, like you just feel like you want to have sex. You want to hook up with somebody. You want to like touch somebody. Like I love affection. Like I love it. Like just let me touch you. Let me just, you know what I mean? Like I love a hug, bitch. I be needing a hug. Okay. The shit I go through, I need a fucking hug. Like all the time. But that urge you feel to hook up with someone, it's going to be very strong until you go through with it. So you're going to have that really strong urge to hook up with someone. You're going to get that emotional need met. You're going to get the physical need met. And then all of a sudden, that intense urge is gone. Your distraction is gone because that urge is distracting you from what you actually want. It's the way that you know you can get kind of like relief from what you're feeling. But when that distraction is gone, you're left with the truth of what you truly want, which is to feel connected and close to people. Like the more aware you get, the more empty you're going to realize casual sex is. Like I'm so upset and pissed off that I fucking realized all this because I can't just fuck no more. Like I'm upset every time. But this is the cycle a lot of people get trapped in. Like they know a way to alleviate the way that they're feeling. So they go hook up and have sex. And then they end up feeling the exact same void because it's not the actual closeness they were after. It's not the actual consistent validation that they want. So they keep resorting back to what is known. They keep having these urges and just going for it. Like they want to feel close to people and it will come out. And it's like they just keep acting on it and they keep going in the cycle. And a lot of people will get stuck. It's like using drugs. When you're trying to chase the high, it's not going to work sometimes. You're going to keep doing more and more and more of it. And then you're going to either have to switch to a new drug or fucking sit down one day and be like, what the fuck am I doing? Like after you fucked 500 people and you still feel the same way, you feel 10 times worse. You have no self-esteem. Your fucking relationship with yourself is ass. You probably got an STD by now. And now you're over here like, now what the fuck I'm finna do? Like you have to get to that point to break the cycle. But a lot of people don't understand it's a cycle. That's why I wanted to talk about this in this episode. But just understanding that sex is the painkiller to the emotional void you're feeling is that's your step one. The awareness is going to set you free from it because you're no longer going to go into sex with the expectation of, oh my God, it's going to cure me. And then when it doesn't, and you still feel the same way after, the excitement is gone and the distraction is gone, you're not going to think anything's gone wrong. And it's not going to send you into a panic of like, oh my God, I have to keep trying. I have to go. It's like you're looking for the next thing when you just got to stop for a second. But this is going to help you release the expectation around it. And one thing I do want to say is it's okay to hook up with people. Like hooking up is fine. If you want to go have like meaningless sex and just casual sex, that's fine. Like tap into it, do it. But I wanted to share some things in this episode to help protect you mentally if you're going to do that. Like it's fine to do it, but just don't expect more than what you're going to get out of it. Like if you're going to go into it for the physical needs, understand it's for like the emotional needs a little bit and then the physical needs too. But keep on your hunt for the genuine connection. But when you are hooking up with someone casually, human beings naturally want progression. So when you first meet somebody, if it's going to be a hookup, you get excited. It's new. It's fun. It's, oh my God, it's a new person. It's a new thing. It's a new place of validation. It's a new place to like get your physical affection need. Like it's exciting. It's fun. You hook up a couple of times and then it gets kind of like boring. You're like, what else? Like what next? You know what I mean? That's at least how I get. But I get bored with people quick because I realize like the excitement's wore off. It's nothing new anymore. And like I said, humans want progression. Like we don't like the same shit. Like we like for things to get deeper and progress and move forward. And when the most you're going to get out of a situation is just sexual acts, it's like you get bored of it. Because if all you're doing when you're hanging out is fucking and like cuddling a little bit I like to cuddle after. I like to fuck like I'm in love, cuddle for a minute, and then leave. Peace out. Like, that's just the way that I do it. But if you're only having sex with someone, that's the only way you're kind of getting to know them. You're not getting to know them as a person. Your closeness with them is not developing. Like, all you have is that superficial sexual encounter that you guys have. And it's like, you're going to get bored by it. You're going to get bored with it. And one day, I'm going to go ahead and warn you, because I do this every time. The moment when you're laying in bed next to somebody you've hooked up with, and you've hooked up with them a couple of times, and you're sitting there looking at the ceiling, and you're like, I don't fucking know this person. I used to have that shit happen all the time of like, I don't know who you are. Like, I know you sexually, but like, I don't know who you are as a person for shit. Like, even the little conversations you have like before and after sex, it's like cute, fun. It's like superficial shit, but you're going to hit a point where the sex is no longer exciting. There's no real way to like bring that excitement back because it's known now. Like, you've done it, you've had it. And there's no development with the friendship, relationship, whatever it's going to be. It's like, it's just the sexual shit, and you realize you don't even know this person, but your brain's automatically going to be looking for more. And that's where you hit that realization, because you're going to want progress, and there fucking is none if all you're going to do is hook up with somebody. That's another reason why people bounce around so much. Okay, I have one more point I want to hit on about hooking up with somebody and why it feels good. And then I'm going to get into how casual sex can fuck you up. And like, you allowing people to have access to you. We're going to get into that in a second. But with hooking up with someone and getting that feeling of closeness with them, like when you're hooking up, if you're in pain emotionally and you get to go be with another person, it's so much better to be in pain around someone else than alone. Like, when I go through a lot of shit emotionally, I'll feel the urge to like go hook up with someone. And I've realized like, it's because I'm dealing with shit inside and I'm in pain, but I don't have to tell the person that I'm dealing with shit, but just being with someone makes it feel better for some reason. Like, to have their presence while you're upset or while you're hurting, just their presence feels better. Like, someone just being with you when you're in pain feels better. So that's another reason a lot of people will hook up without realizing it. It's because it's just to have someone's presence and someone's company while you're going through shit. It alleviates a lot. Like, it just feels lighter and you just feel comforted. Like, the person that you're hooking up with might not even know. They might not even be comforting you. They might not even be saying shit about that, but just being with someone or like being able to touch someone, it's very, very comforting when you're in pain. So that is another need being met, you know, because I be getting the loneliest when I'm the saddest. And then my dick all of a sudden wants to be like, I'm lonely too. Like, bitch, I know that you're not. You're fine. I played with you earlier. What you're really fucking after is to not feel alone in your pain, and I get it. Thank you for looking out for me. But that's another thing that happens a lot of the time people aren't aware of. All right, now let's get into where casual sex is gonna fuck you up and ruin your self-esteem. Because me too, bitch. Everything I talk about in my podcast, because I've been through it, bitch. Like, you're not qualified to speak on something if you ain't fucking been through it, or you don't have like direct experience with it. So that's how I be knowing so many things. I be going through so many things. But a big thing to get about hooking up with someone is if you're just going to use someone to meet your physical need of like, okay, I'm just going to hook up with you. We're just going to like have sex or whatever it is. You can't objectify somebody without doing the same to yourself. You can't treat someone like they're disposable without that being reflected right back at you, because that's the only thing they're reflecting to you, is you're just good for that. So basically, you can't devalue someone or select what value you see in someone and like only being like, you're only valuable for this, without sending that same message to yourself. And the next thing is allowing people access to you for the bare fucking minimum. Like, if you meet up with someone and you hook up with someone just based off of what you like about them physically, that is the bare minimum of what someone could have to have access to you. Like, it's kind of disrespectful to yourself, where it's like your list of requirements for what you have to meet to be able to get access to me and like fuck with me. It's like, it's just this. Like, you just have to like be cute and know how to fuck. But to do that is not treating yourself like you're valuable. Like, you're just allowing anyone that has a nice dick, a nice vagina, or a nice body to have access to you. Like, there's so much more to human beings. We are animals, but we're not just like animals that are like, what? I don't know the fucking terminology. I don't know science, bitch. Like, I don't know. Don't even try and say it. Don't even, you're gonna sound stupid as shit. But our whole focus is not just procreation like other animals. Like, it's not just like who has the best features to fuck and then keep going. We're a more developed species than that. Like, you can't just let someone have access to you just because they know how to fuck, or they have a nice dick, or they have a nice body, or they're cute. That's not enough like requirement. That's not enough like value to be able to cross that threshold to have access to you. Like, because that's basically telling yourself anyone can have access to you if they have this or that thing. That's not like a good message to send yourself. When you screen people and you evaluate who they are as a person before they get access to you, that's being protective of yourself. That's how you treat something you value, is when you're going to check, before I let you have access to me, are you worth it? Are you safe? Is this a good idea? Like, you have to act protective of yourself, and that's how you show yourself that you have value. Like, if you truly care about yourself and you value yourself, that's how you behave. You're not just going to let anyone fuck you. And with that, like just fucking with someone based off of the physical attributes they have, you're not requiring someone to see anything else valuable about you to get you. Like, you're not making them see other ways you're useful to them or worth a fuck. Like, you're just allowing them in. Like, you're not making them appreciate you or see anything else. You're just like, here's access. Like, valuable things are not easily accessed. So don't treat yourself that way. And I'm not saying don't have sex and like banish it off like some fucking prude. I'm saying you need to be more calculated with who you allow to come in and get near you like that, you know? Make people be of caliber to access you. Like, not everybody can have a Birkin. Why do I always bring up a fucking Birkin? It just flies out of my mouth. But like, not everybody can have a fucking Birkin. Like, you need to be the same way with your coochie cat or your dick. Like, you need to just have that mentality of like, not everybody can access it. And what's going to happen, a lot of people think like if they put requirements on their self to have access to them, people are not going to want them. But the opposite happens. When people perceive things as more valuable and harder to get, they're going to want it more. So don't be scared you're going to not have anyone to come to you. People are going to be trying to come to you. You're just going to be weeding them the fuck out. Like, ugh. You know what I mean? Like, get your little weed whacker and fucking get them out. It's about to start raining. God damn it. Okay, one thing, the lighting is like shifting, but don't worry. Because next week's episode, I bought big like lighting, but it just couldn't get delivered in time. So I'm trying to use sunlight, and God wants to fuck with me. So we're just going to have to hang tight for this one. Deal with the little shadow on my face, but next week it's going to be perfect. So the next thing about requirements for people to access you, a lot of the times if you're just hooking up with someone, you don't require them to take your feelings into consideration. You'd hope for it, but it's not a requirement to get access to you is my thing. Like, you hope that they care about the way that you feel. You hope that they think of you and they're thoughtful and courteous and considerate of you. But what I'm saying is that should be a fucking requirement if someone's gonna fuck you. But allowing someone to discard you and the way that you feel and still allowing them access to you sends you a very negative message. Like, to not make anyone caretake any part of you, that's not fair to do to yourself. Like, you don't have to take care of me. You don't have to take into consideration anything about me besides sexually. Like, that's not good to do for your relationship with yourself. Okay, so the next thing I want to hit on about hookup culture is how it's going to make you feel like fucking shit about yourself and make you feel worse than ever. Because when you go to hook up with someone and your intentions are just to like have sex, what someone is focused on is their physical need. So they're like, okay, I want my dick wet. I want my dick played with. All they're evaluating you for is, can you do it? Are you pretty enough to play with it? Like, that's all that they're seeing about you. They put their blinders on for the need that they have. They're looking at the need of sex. Can you meet that need? Great. They're not looking at any other value you can contribute them. They're not looking at how you're a good person or how you have a good heart or how you could care about them or how you could be a good boyfriend or girlfriend or the they, them friend. I don't know what the fuck to call that. But like, they're not looking to reflect you or even see or notice anything else valuable about you besides what will meet their need. So they're screening you. They're assessing, can you meet this need for me? Okay, great. Then they're going to fuck you. But they're not going to reflect you any other value besides sex. And a lot of people go into hookups thinking, oh my God, like, I'm such a good person. I'm so great. Like, I'm better than them. Like, I settle my standards. They're going to want me. And then they don't want you. They're not looking for how you could be a good girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Like I said, they're not trying to evaluate anything else about you besides, can you meet the physical need that I have, which is to fuck. That's what they're looking at. But that will make you second guess yourself. And if you go through that enough of like going and just hooking up with people and then no one tries to take things further or nobody like wants anything more, you're going to start to question yourself and second guess. Like, am I like worthless? Like, what the fuck is going on? Why does nobody want me? But nobody's looking at you when you approach them for the standpoint of just sex, or you entertain that conversation. They're not looking at anything about you other than your ability to have sex and your sex appeal. They're not looking for your emotional intelligence. They're not looking for your smarts. They're not looking for your heart. So they're not going to reflect you any of that. I hope you can't hear the thunder. Mother Nature, leave me alone. God and Mother Nature not fucking with me both at the same time. Just let me talk to everybody about sex. Oh my God. And recently, I was hooking up with someone that I met like real organically. It was weird. Like, I don't play on none of the apps and shit, but I met someone organically. I was trying to manifest the friends with benefit. Like, I was in my journal every night writing a little friends with benefit. I want to manifest that. And I did. And then we hooked up a few times. And this is where I'm saying all this shit like kind of came out. Like, it was already in the back of my head, but this situation I just went through made all this very fucking obvious. So that's why I made a full list. And I was like, let's talk about it. But the main thing that like put me the fuck off was I got a text like late at night one night, and he was like, "What are you doing? I'm horny." And it like pissed me off. Like, I got physically like pissed, but like under anger is hurt. So I was like, okay, what am I actually like upset about? Like, what's actually bothering me with this? And I was so sad by that text because I'm like, you only text me to hook up. And I'm just like, I have so much more to offer. And the least interesting thing about me is my ability to have sex. Like, I'm so much more deep than that. I have so much more to offer. I have so much more value, and you don't even care. And I've like kind of like drifted off, and like I'm not really like engaging with it anymore, just because it made me feel like shit. Like I said, once you hit a certain level of awareness, like it's not gonna feel good to hook up anymore. Like, receiving texts like that and only having my physical like attributes and like my ability to have sex, which every human being has. You're not special because you can fuck. You might be special for how you can fuck. You can develop the skills, but the ability to fuck is in all of us. So just someone like reflecting that to me and like being interested for that, I was like so put off by it. Like, you don't see what else is in front of you? All right. And I'm like, I'm over it. Like, I'm done with it. Cause like I'm down for like, I like the progression of things. Like I talked about before, I want to see progression. I want to get to know you more. I want to get to know you better. I don't know, dude. Like, I got to know him and like he was cool, but it wasn't, I like to get to know people. Like, if I'm going to give someone access to me, like I'm not going to give it to a stranger. Like, I have to assess if you're worth like bringing next to me and bringing close to me like that. Cause sex is bringing someone close to you. Like, they're being intimate with you. That's a certain level of closeness. And I'm like, for you to get that, I need more. I need a lot more than just what I thought. And this situation revealed that to me. And I feel a lot better now that I've decided I'm done with hookups. Like, the next person I'm going to have sex with, me running my fucking mouth. Let me drink too much tequila and I'm going to be fucking. But I really don't like get around. I haven't like slept with a lot of people like recently. Like, I just don't like that. I'm very protective of myself now because I see for the first time the value in me. And when people don't see that, it makes me turned off. When people can't properly appreciate me, I'm like, ew, like I'm ready to discard them, because people appreciate what they recognize because it's in them. So it's kind of letting me know you don't see what's in front of you because you don't possess it also. That might just be me losing my fucking mind and trying to feel better because I do be playing ego games. But yeah, just getting that text did not make me feel good. So I was like, I'm not subjecting myself to that shit anymore. Like, the person that's going to get access to me sexually next is going to be able to validate, see, and appreciate all the shit about me, not just my dick. Okay, my next point I want to bring up, and it's about society. Society makes it seem like it's so cool to have hoes. Like, you're supposed to have hoes on lock. The fuck? Like, everybody's like all about having hoes and all about like having a list full of people that want to fuck them. And I just want to say, having hoes is not a flex. It's honestly kind of embarrassing, because what you have is a list of people who want to fuck you. You don't have a list of people who want to care about you and get to know you and connect with you and be close to you. They'd like to take you on a test run. Like, sexually. Like, I don't look at it as a flex to have hoes. I'm honestly turned off when people entertain too many fucking people. I'm like, ew. Like, that's not cute to me, because like you're entertaining people who are only able to reflect to you one type of value. I'm good. I don't like that shit. I don't waste time on that shit. Like, I don't entertain people. Like, my phone is literally so fucking dry. It stays on do not disturb all the fucking time. I don't give a shit. Girl, I'm busy working with me. And until you can like fully appreciate me and like value me, I'm not interested. And that's that. But I just wanted to talk shit real quick about everybody thinking it's so cool to have hoes. Like, it's really not. Like, it's actually kind of embarrassing. Because you have a lot of people that want to fuck you, but not care about you. Seems off to me. But like I said with this whole episode, I don't want you to think that I'm like bashing hooking up. I just want you to be prepared and be aware of what's going on and like what you're feeling inside. This will be different for everybody, but like check in with the new awareness you now have. If you're gonna hook up with people and you're still gonna do casual shit, do it. Get your fix. We all have physical needs. We have emotional needs. Like, go get your fix. It's okay every once in a while, take a little pain pill. Like, take your pain pill. Go get your fix. But now you're prepared mentally. And I want you to set standards and requirements for yourself for what it takes to access you. Don't just go around fucking people. Like, set requirements and screen who you allow to have access to you, because that's going to send you the message that you are valuable. Like, just hooking up with a bunch of people doesn't mean you don't value yourself. And it doesn't mean that there's no way to build your relationship with yourself and still hook up. The way to build your relationship with yourself and feel good about hooking up is by showing yourself you're treating yourself as valuable. You're screening who comes up in front of you. You have requirements for who can access you like that. That's a way to build your self-esteem and build yourself up. But like I said about when you have that urge and you're like fiending for it, do not drop your fucking standards. Now you're aware of why your urge feels so strong. It's the emotional shit too, so it's not going to feel as strong because now you're going to be able to observe it. So you're welcome. I gave you that little tidbit, but don't drop your fucking standards. You meet my requirement or you don't get access. Like, that's just how the fuck it's going to go. Or you will fuck your relationship up with yourself and you will not feel valuable. Okay? Like, you're going to feel like shit with hooking up. So this is the way to do like little hookups and take your little pain pill of like having sex with not feeling like total hell, you know? So just be smart with it and make your priority showing yourself that you're valuable by the way you treat yourself. If this podcast was helpful to you and you're watching on YouTube, leave this video a thumbs up and leave a comment. Like, leave me some comments, leave me some feedback. I love hearing from you guys. Like, that's the shit that keeps me going. Like, I like to have conversation. I like to talk. And if you're listening to the audio version of this, I'm on YouTube now, bitch. You can watch this if you want. But leave me a 5-star rating. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, just put the little 5 stars. Thank you so much. But I did set up a donations page for this podcast because I'm most likely not going to be monetized. So if you want to support the podcast, if anything I've said has helped you and you want to donate, I'll put the link in the description of this podcast. It'll also be in the audio version. Just click the description. And donations are going to help keep this bitch commercial free because I don't want to have to come in here with no advertisements. Okay. I hate that shit when I'm listening to a podcast and they fucking just all of a sudden start talking about like teeth whitening or like Birchbox or whatever the fuck it is. I like you to just give the value straight to you because that's how I like to consume it. But if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, I do Zoom calls. So if you want to book one and you want me to help you through anything you're dealing with, I've got you. Hit the link in the description. I'll put the scheduling link. I'll also put all the links to my social media if you want to follow me. If you have any topics you want me to cover in future episodes, you can send me a DM on Instagram or you can comment on the YouTube video. I'm going to look at all of it. I be nosy. I like to know what everybody says. But I hope this podcast helped you. This is everything that I fucking know as of right now. As I learn more shit, I'll share it. But everybody be safe, take care of yourself, and I will talk to you next Sunday.